I'm MC Toon, and it's Tuesday night. We've got a debate for you all ready to go. It's going to be between Robert Greenlee and Quincey Carr. Now, Quincy, he's not here yet. I think he's trying to get in. Quincy thinks that the Earth is flat, and he's a pilot. I know you're scratching your head at that, but don't worry. He can only fly short flights, but he's still not here yet. But so what I'm gonna get he's trying to open a link. I'm gonna get why every single time they can't open a link. So all right, I'm gonna get Robert on. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing well. I think Quincy's probably trying to join on his 20-year-old cell phone and wondering what doesn't want to work.
That could be. At
the flat phone.
It's got a flat screen. Yeah. I love it. I love it when they're like, maps are flat, therefore Earth flat. Like, I have a picture of my dog that's flat. Is my dog flat? Well, it has to be with that logic. But he says he's trying to open the link. So, there, he mentioned, was that you? There's a group chat. Yeah, okay. So if you didn't see it, was it Sunday? 2 nights ago, Robert?
Yep, Sunday night.
So Sunday night, 2 nights ago, Robert was on FE Banjo on his channel, and wow. Effie Banjo imagines that he has delusions of adequacy when it comes to airplanes. He is dramatically wrong on pretty much everything. He's so bad at it that it was, he didn't even realize how badly he was demolished. He probably through that he's like, I did good.
Yeah, and he essentially tried to play 40 minutes of really poor, unrelated videos and monopolize the whole thing. And then we came to the end. He gave me like 10 minutes and said, we're done. Played with credits and hung up.
Yeah. So, and that's what prompted Quincy. Quincy, I'll let Quincy elaborate, but Quincy is like, I want to talk to Robert now. So,
but the problem is Quincy and I already debated on Craig's show last year, and he lost pretty badly, so I'm not sure what he's hoping to accomplish.
Well, it's pretty much a standard procedure. Can you guys open the link for me? It's not working, or can you guys call me? He's been on here before with Zoom.
It's not hard.
Oh my gosh. How does he not? All right, let me clear out a few things here. It's just click the link. Just click the link. It's the same every time you click the link. He's been on Zoom here before. I don't get it. Anyway, well, I don't think he's scared. I think that he doesn't quite have the.
Imagine somebody flying an airplane and can't figure out a Zoom link.
Yeah. Fortunately, I don't think there's passengers. But Lael says for $5, how much do you want to bet that the flat earther will deny simple truths so that he can stay on his fantasy flat earth? Nobody would take the other side of that bet.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, maybe a flurf would.
Yeah, I'll have to go find his debate against Woofy, because I'm sure Woofy ripped him a new one.
Oh, so he said his main two things when he was talking with I was on for a while, and then Woofy came on. He said all the pilots he's talked to, which would be the pilots at the place that he flies that can't go over 18,000 feet, those pilots, he said all of those pilots have never seen the curvature of the Earth while flying those planes at 18,000 feet.
Oh, duh.
And then, so that isn't a very strong evidence. Like, I didn't see it, therefore it can't be in existence anywhere else. The other thing he said is he can't feel the rotation of the Earth. And Wolfie came on and gave him talked about some of the things in the flight tests that you take to get your multi-engine certification and other certifications. And in there, it talks about the human anatomy's sensitivity to rotation. It's actually, we can only sense acceleration, angular acceleration. Oh, all right. He's getting in somehow. He doesn't have a lick yet. Oh, there it is.
Hey, he made it. But it looks like he's in his car.
He's in his car. He got no audio yet.
See, I'll still connect to the audio.
Yeah. So,
there he goes.
No. I can see that there's no audio connected yet. So, can you hear us? Thumbs up or thumbs down if you can hear us.
Zoom's still saying it's connected to audio. There.
Hello, you guys.
There we
there
go.
You are.
What's going on, you guys?
Yeah. Dude, what you doing in your car?
I'm eating, man. I just came back from the airport, man. I just got off work, man. I did 25 landings in an hour.
How'd you do that?
The airport that I fly in is a tight pattern. It's Oakland Airport.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't do that at my airport. It's way too busy.
Okay. How's that?
That's not too bad, but
Oh yeah, horizontal.
I'm wondering.
Horizontal video. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
the guy that you guys what's his name? Flat Earth or Banjo?
Banjo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was horrible, man. He was horrible.
Hey, it's bad when even the flat earther says that the flat earther is horrible.
Because his videos were too long and he didn't explain everything. But on flight 447, I know what he was trying to say, but he didn't do a good job of saying it.
But did you realize his contradiction when he said that an airplane would fly off into space because of the curvature of the Earth, but then a second later he said that the airplane stalled when it climbed to a higher altitude. So he thinks they could climb into space, but yet in a second later say, no, that'll stall because the air's thinner. Did you notice that contradiction?
Well, yeah, and then on flight 447, he said it was no GPS, but it was no radar is right. What it was. But my point in that is that whether it be radar or GPS, those are all ground-based from what I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll talk about GPS a little bit tonight, but it's been a little bit, Quincy, since we debated last year on Craig's channel. How's life been treating you?
Good. Real good. I've been, hey, I live the dream, dude. Yeah. I live the dream, and I fly every day, and I make people happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm hoping in maybe about 5 years, I want to retire from my day job and go be a flight instructor just for the fun of it. And
bro, I live the life every day. I fly to all kind of airports just to go out to eat. And now people ask me, they say, Quincy, how do you teach your students that the Earth is flat, but yet you show them how to fly? Like, from my point of view, I think the Earth is flat. From a pilot's point of view, like to me, it just makes sense. It just makes sense from flight planning to navigation to just the way that that the human body reacts. We can only be flying on a flat world that's not spinning.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that, and I hope you're able to actually see, because, I mean, as I'm usually prepared and have things to show you, but you're on a little tiny phone screen, so hopefully you'll be able to see some of the things, but I kind of wanted to let you go first and, come up with your best piece of evidence which support what the claims that you just made.
Well, okay. Why don't we start how I found out, right? 2016, right? I'm at the bar. Some guy says, hey, you know what? The earth is flat. I said, you're an idiot. I'm a pilot. I've seen the curve, right? The next day, I went flying to look for this curve that I told this guy that I seen, and I didn't see it. I did not.
How high were you flying, Quincy?
5,000 feet.
All right. So do you think you'd see curvature from 5,000 feet?
I mean, the fact that I told this person that I seen something that I didn't see, though, that's the problem that I have, is that when you think you know something and you don't know it, and a good pilot is always learning, and a lot of pilots that I chat with think that they know it all, and they don't.
Yeah. But would you readily admit that from 5,000 feet, I mean, the altitudes that we fly at, I mean, the highest I've been is about 16,000 feet. That's still way too low to easily see curvature. So why would you expect to see it from 5,000 feet?
Because you can see it or you can't see it when you're at sea level. From sea level to 1,000 to 2,000, you're always flying level. And if you're level, there is no curve. The first rule in flying is keep the wings level and straight with the horizon. And the horizon is flat from 1,000 to 5,000 to 100,000. The horizon is always flat. That's why it's called a horizon.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about that.
All right, so if I showed you an image taken from the cockpit of an A320 at 40,000 feet, which disproved you, would you just claim it's false?
Well, the idea that an airplane is level over a sphere is impossible.
Yeah, but that was a diversion. What I asked you was, if I showed you an image taken by the guy who took it is Hans Baldwin, is a friend of mine. He was flying for Vietnam Airways in an A320 at 40,000 feet. He took this image with a cell phone through the front cockpit window, which is, flat pane of glass, if you know A320s, and it clearly shows the curvature of the Earth. Are you just going to say it's false, or are you going to come up with a reason for it?
Well, hey, I'm always open to learning. Show me.
Okay, because he's a fellow pilot, so I'll share my screen out for just a second, Mike. Yep. All right. Yeah. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There you go. So I'm not sure how well you can see this on your phone, but it's pretty clear. You can see the curvature of the Earth.
I see no curve in there.
All right, so let's do this. Let's take a screenshot of it so I can draw a line underneath it. Now, I know you're looking at a little tiny cell phone screen, which is kind of why I was hoping you'd be on a computer instead of a cell phone screen, but that's what it is. So there's your straight line. So now do you see it?
I don't, listen, man. Look, I see no curve.
All right,
To
so
me,
let's ask the audience. Everybody that's in the audience in the chat, does anybody not see the curve? Let's have a vote real quick. Everybody start blasting. Do you see it or not?
I'll do a poll here quick. I'll do a poll.
We don't know if that's a cloud formation or not.
Yeah.
That might be what they call a false horizon, which can come from the way that clouds slope.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if you ever want, I'll actually get him on the line with us, because he's the actual pilot who took it, and he sees this all the time. He said this is pretty common what he sees, and you could explain to him why he's wrong.
Fine, but I mean, there's higher pictures of this that show no curve.
I've seen many, many that do. Let's take a look at something else, since I've got the screen shared for just a second. are you one that claims that the horizon always rises to the level?
Yes.
All right. So looking at the screen again, what's this bar right in the middle? What does that represent? The long line all the way back and forth across the screen.
That is the horizon bar, but that's not what our eyes see. Our eyes don't our eyes look outside to keep the airplane straight with what we actually see, which is the horizon.
Are your eyes measuring devices?
Yes, they are. They're natural gyroscopes.
Yeah.
Your
so
eyes are natural gyroscopes.
So you're telling me that your eyes can measure what's perfectly level out from your plan of view.
When I am doing flying with my students and when we're flying, they have a hard time trying to keep the airplane straight because they keep trying to look inside. But once they look outside, something magical happens. It's like their eyes can perceive the horizon and they start flying like, I don't know. There's something to do with the way the eyes can look outside and point out level, because that's what we do every day.
Right, but you didn't answer my question. Can your eyes actually measure level?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me how that's the case.
Because your eye is a gyroscope. So when you look at when you look at your eye and you hold your eye straight, you can move your head all around, and your eye will be fixed on that one point.
So tell me this, Quincy, if you're building a house and you needed to make your wall perfectly straight, would you just look at it and say, yeah, that looks straight, or would you use a level to do it?
I'd use a level, and you know what's inside those, right?
Yeah.
Water.
So why would you use a tool when your eyes can measure level?
Well, because my eyes can measure the horizon better than any tool can.
Oh, so your eyes are more precise than a precision tool like a theodolite, right?
Your eyes have no lag in them. Some of the airplane's instruments, they have a lot. There's a lag in them. There's errors, but your eyes can pick out what's level faster than the airplane. Because look, just think about the guys who fly acrobatics, right? Sean D, Tucker, all these guys that fly stunt planes. Well, what are they having to use? Their eyes to determine where's level.
All right. So what does that line represent? I'll look across the screen. Is that 10 degrees up, 0 degrees up, 10 degrees down? What does that line represent?
This is a little complex for me, but I would say 10 degrees.
But what does that line represent?
That should be where the horizon is, or should be, or it's where the airplane is in relative to even flight. And here I see you're at flight level 400.
Yeah. So that line represents level looking out from the airplane. And you can see the horizon is clearly below level.
But
so you guys always say that on flat Earth, the horizon would always rise to level. But when you actually use a tool like a theodolite or a HUD in this case, when you actually measure it, because your eyes are not measuring devices, when you actually measure it, you see that the horizon, the higher you go, the lower that horizon gets. So the claim that the horizon always rises to level is false when you actually measure it.
Okay, so when you're flying in the clouds and you can't see, where's that line at?
It'll still be pointing straight out level. This doesn't matter if you can see or not. But
your see this, if you use a basic attitude indicator, then it'll work. This is a little too advanced. You know, this is a HUD display. We're trying to make people learn this stuff the easy way. You know, how do you, because you and I fly, right? But folks that don't fly, how do you make them understand some of these concepts?
All
now,
right, let's look at something a little bit simpler then. Let's ignore the HUD, because I agree the aircraft we fly don't have HUDs. So let's just look at something simpler. This was taken with a theodolite. It's basically some measurement tool, a precision tool, and then you see in the exact same thing. I don't know if you can see it on your phone, but right where the cursor is basically perfectly level from my point of view when I took this. And again,
right.
You see the horizon is below level. So no matter what tool you use, the higher you go, the lower the horizon gets, which debunks the claim that the horizon always rises to level.
Well, look, there is no way that you are flying an airplane on a moving, spinning ball with no correction. Where is that in the flight planning? Where is that in all the flight planning? When me and my students do flight planning, why don't we have to correct for the spin? Why is there no correct for this curve? It's like you're telling me that there's a curve and I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't correct for it. Does this curve even exist? And the answer is no.
All right. So tell me why you think. Well, first of all, you kept diverting. So I'm guessing that you're going to admit that when you measure level, the horizon is below level. Do you admit that or not? Or are you saying that the precision tools are lying?
Level is level over a flat plane. Level is never level
you just
over a
diverted
sphere.
again, Quincy. Stop diverting. Just answer the question. When
Okay.
you measure the horizon, it always shows the horizon is actually below level. Yes or no?
It's level. Yes. No matter what, the horizon is level. It is.
No, you didn't listen real closely here. When you measure the horizon using a HUD, using a theodolite, it shows the horizon is below level. Yes or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, what it shows you is that the horizon does not rise to level. Certainly, if you just look out the window, your eyes are going to naturally center on where the horizon's at, because your eyes are not measurement devices.
Even though your eyes can look outside, and you just said detect where level is.
Our eyes are subjective. You know, when we're flying along and I look out the horizon, it works absolutely fantastic for showing me if I'm banking the aircraft. It works absolutely great. But it's not necessarily going to tell me if I'm climbing or descending. I'm going to look at my attitude indicator to do that. And once I get to the point that I'm no longer climbing or descending, I can look out the horizon and say, okay, well, that's my sight picture. As long as I maintain that sight picture, I'm going to quit climbing or descending. But I don't use to look out the window to establish am I climbing or descending.
People don't know what an attitude indicator is, right? So another word for that is artificial horizon. So It's an artificial horizon that shows you what the real horizon is. So why is that instrument not show a curve?
All the artificial horizon is showing you is what is the attitude of the aircraft.
Exactly. In relation to what?
In relation to the
attitude.
In relation to the point over the earth that you're at that moment in time.
And making sure that what your level attitude, because I'm telling you, bro, when you're flying the clouds, bro, you better be level. You better be level. Or if not, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. When I'm sure you're aware that one of the most causes of GGA crashes is what? They fly IMC from VFR to IMC. There's always somebody flying in the clouds, and what happens? They don't know where level is. They don't know where level is.
Okay, so you've got your admission that when you actually measure the horizon, it's not rising to level. So move on to the next one. So explain to me a comment that you just made a second ago that you would have to adjust for curvature. What do you mean by that?
I mean pitch, power, trim. I climb up, I level, I adjust my power, I adjust my trim, and I'm level. if the Earth was a sphere and it curved down, I would constantly have to adjust my pitch over the curved ground as I'm flying straight. But that never happens.
Okay.
There's no.
So for the audience, explain to us, if you didn't adjust for it, what would happen?
If I did not adjust for this curve, right, my nose would be all the way too forward, and eventually I'd be flying the plane upside down because I'm going over the sphere, right? So if I go from the North Pole to the South Pole, eventually I'll be upside down. But that never happens.
So, man, that was confusing. But
No, it's not.
that was horribly
Sphere,
confusing.
on your model,
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing in a
If-
second.
on your model, if
Yep.
I fly from the North Pole to the South Pole, when I'm on the South Pole, I'll be upside down on your model.
All right, so answer this. We got a little toy airplane here, right?
Mhm.
All right, which way is the lift vector?
The lift vector is from the bottom.
All right, so it's always straight up, right?
Exactly.
Straight up in relation to what?
To weight.
Okay, well, straight up in relation to outside of the aircraft, what is the lift vector always perpendicular to?
Weight is lift over weight.
Yes, but the actual lift, the direction of the lift vector.
It's going up. And
In
so
relation to what?
and the weight is going, hold on, wait a minute. I got mine too. Right. So dang it. Do I have my freaking aha. Here we go.
Okay, cool.
Cool,
Cool
right?
airplane. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so right, we have the lift, right? Going straight up. I got you. And we have weight going straight down.
There you go. In relation to what?
In relation to the attitude of the airplane.
Okay, in relation to the Earth, right?
Right.
The ground?
Yeah.
All right. So if your lift vector is always straight up in relation to the
Okay.
ground,
Right.
so now we have the Earth, and I'm on top of the Earth. Lift vector is towards the ground, right?
Right. No,
So the
no,
airplane-
no.
Yep.
Your weight is towards the ground.
Yep.
Going
Exactly.
going this way.
Yep.
Right. So
All right.
that vector is a straight line. It goes straight down.
All right. We're in agreement. Good. Okay.
Okay.
So now the aircraft is over here. Which way is
Okay.
the lift vector pointing?
What attitude is the airplane?
Well,
Are we flying the airplane?
no.
Wait a minute.
So I gotta make this simple easier. So the airplane's over here. So which way is down in relation to where the airplane's at?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. So what attitude are you at? Is that level?
It's level, yes.
Show me level on your model.
This is still level.
That's
Which
you're
way
in a
is down?
climb.
Which way is down?
Down is going, well, you're like that, but you're
Hang
in a
on,
climb.
I need a pencil or something. No. All right, I got a screwdriver. Okay. All right. So let's answer this fundamental question, because so many flat earthers get this wrong. Which way, if I'm on top of the Earth, which way is down?
Down is always down, straight down.
Down towards on the globe. Which way is
Yeah.
down?
Down is on your world itself.
No.
Right. What?
No. Down is I'm over here. Which way is down?
Which way is down? I mean, dude, and on your model, your world spins. So I mean, what the heck?
All right, on our model,
way
just so we
down
spend all night on this. On our model, down is always to the middle of the Earth, right?
Okay.
So if I'm here, down is this way. If I'm here, down is that way. If I'm here, down is that way. It's always to the middle of the Earth.
And how does that make sense to you as a smart person?
Gravity.
You know, on your model,
Yep.
that world spins 1,000 miles an hour, and you're telling me that somehow you're going to hold a plane level like this on a ball that spins, and yet there's no correction for it.
All right, so we'll talk about that in a second. So let's make sure that you understand. Do you understand that down is towards the middle of the Earth? Always.
Yes, but down.
Okay, great. Good. We're in agreement. We're making progress here. So you talked about the Earth spinning 1,000 miles an hour. This little globe is spinning right now at a representative 1,000 miles per hour. If I sit there and I stare at this globe and I watch it rotate at the same RPM as the actual globe, how long is it going to take me for it to turn all the way around?
Should take 24 hours.
Exactly. So
exactly.
It's not 1,000 miles an hour. It's one rotation per day.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Here's how the elite have done everything because they're backwards.
Who are the elite?
Oh, come on. We're not going here. We're not going here.
You brought it up, not me.
Well, see, I'm informed as well as a pilot. So, like, I have a lot of the knowledge from, but anyway.
Who's informing you? I want to know. I want to hear it.
Have you read my story, sir?
I have. You've got a great story. I have great respect for you.
So you know that I've been shot 5 times, right?
Agreed. It's a miracle you're here with us. I agree.
Now you know that when that happened to me in 2007, that was when I became awake. I had all that time to learn about the world, and I thought that I knew it all until 2016, when Flat Earth Man came out. So I'm not like brand new into this. Like I research this stuff. Like I know this stuff. Like I live this, man.
So what was your source of research when you were laid up?
Honestly, Mark Sargent. I'm being real with you. Is he a shill or not?
Did he really just say that?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this though. How many flat earthers are pilots? Probably not a lot. Probably not a lot.
One.
Like
one. At least one.
Yeah, just one.
Oh God. No.
Are you a fan of Eric Dubé also as well?
Again, he's not a pilot.
Yeah. How about Bob Nodell?
I haven't heard of them, but
hold on a second. Wait. You've not heard of Bob Nodell?
No. Who's that?
Okay.
Yeah, so Bob Nodell is another infamous flat earther. Unfortunately, he passed recently. Rest in peace. But he was
Rob Esquiva, right?
He hadn't flown in a very long time, but he was a private pilot. Never went beyond that.
Okay.
So he made some of the claims that you did. He claimed to be a commercial pilot at one point in time until it was found out that he was lying.
Oh wow.
Which is kind of unfortunate, but I mean, it sounds like you do realize that the commonality between all of these people that we just mentioned is that they're con men. They're essentially doing this to make money off of people such as yourself. They're not doing it for the goodness of their heart. They're making money off of people.
I don't make money off of this stuff.
Yeah, but you're not out there. You're not doing what they're doing. I mean, you look at Eric Dubé, Mark Sargent, they're writing books, they're running YouTube channels. They're making money off of gullible people. And I hate to say it, but you fell for it.
No. In fact, you know what? Here's how right I am. And my plan, I've always wanted to write a book called this, Flat Earth for Pilots. Yeah. Because I've gone back and researched everything that I thought I knew about flying. And I had to relearn everything, man. From the PHAC to the far aim to navigation. Like I relearned everything, and now it all makes sense on a flat world. From our maps, okay? Why are the maps that we use to fly with? They're flat maps.
Can you imagine flying in the cockpit with this to navigate?
A bigger one. Lots
That's a
bigger.
toy.
Would you hold this or a really big one in the cockpit to navigate with? Would that be
Because
very
that's
practical?
a toy.
You're right.
Not
This particular one is a Walmart toy. But
Right,
would you navigate using a three-dimensional map in your cockpit? I mean, it's already hard enough to doing origami as you got this 6-foot wide map as you're flying along.
Yeah. But it's flat.
Of course it's flat. It's on paper.
But,
It's a projection of the globe.
but when we fly, we're at a level altitude. And I told this to MC Toon last time. I said, MC Toon, how do you draw a straight? Okay, I'm right now it's over. I'm gonna destroy it. How do you draw a straight line over a sphere? Game over.
I'll show you.
Game.
Hang on.
It's over.
Hang on. You can't say it's over. Hey, we're only 37 minutes in. It's not over yet. So Quincy, what are you doing using any electronic flight books yet?
So some of my guys use ForeFlight. Some of my guys use Garmin Pilot. I'm old school. I have a chart, and we're looking outside.
So you must be spending a lot of money on paper charts. How often you got to replace those charts with current ones?
Well, I think what every about four months. But in the kind of flying that I do, I know the area though. So
yeah, but you're still legally required to have current charts, right?
Right.
So the FAA is listening. Quincy always has current charts in his aircraft, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're not kind of buying off on electronic flight books. So you've got a whole suitcase full of charts and approach plates and all that kind of fun stuff.
Something like that, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
If you never leave the Oakland airport area, do you need it?
No.
All right, you only need
one.
one.
Still gotta legally have them though.
Well, because like where I'm at, I always fly the same airports. Oakland, Hayward, Byron, Livermore, so I know the area. But like when I went to Louisiana last year, I didn't know the area, so I had to have a chart because I didn't know the area. And let me tell you, boy, is it flat out there.
Yeah. So for curiosity's sake, Quincy, how far away from home have you flown?
One of my friends bought a plane from Seattle, and we flew it from Seattle back here to the Bay Area.
Okay. If you ever want an adventure, get with somebody and fly out to AirVenture. Because that's obviously we call it AirVenture. AirVenture, just for everybody, is a big air show held up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin every year. It's the biggest air show in the world.
I've been trying to get to Oshkosh, man, my whole life, dude.
Yeah.
My whole life, and every year it's always something.
Yeah. So Mike, I'm going to share the screen again real quick, just to let you heads up.
Okay.
So Quincy, for those of your pilots you train that are using Garmin or ForeFlight, do you tell them that the tools that they're using are accurate, or do you tell them that no, that's showing you wrong? What it's showing you is not accurate.
I mean, it's accurate. Okay. There's a guy. Me and him talk flat Earth all the time, and he's on your side of the fence. And when he pulls this, what you're showing me, and does a plan, I say you can't draw a straight line over a sphere, right? Then he goes to what you're showing me, makes the plan, and says, "Well, look, you can look, see," or if I say like what you're showing me is just CGI, he'll say, well, no, look, the Earth is a ball because it says so right here.
Yeah, but you didn't really answer my question. Is tools like ForeFlight, it could be ForeFlight, Garmin, Jeppesen products, whatever you happen to be using, are they, when you plot a flight from LA to Seattle, and it tells you it's 1,200 miles, these are the waypoints you're following, this is the exact path across the ground, is it accurate or not?
I would say yes.
All right, so if we take a look at, I have a flight. So first of all, is that a straight line or not?
It's what a straight line.
So it's catching up here. So kind of look at the screen and tell me if that's a straight line or not.
Can we please zoom in?
Let's see here.
Let's zoom in.
Hang on, let's see if I can do this easily here. That's why you should do this on a computer and not on your phone. Hang on
Hey,
a second.
I'm not a rich person. I spent almost all of my money to become trained to be a freaking CFI.
Oh, come on, man. We know all flight instructors are rich.
Right, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, right.
There you go. I made it bigger for you.
Okay. So now can we zoom in on that? Okay, there it is. And that's from where to where?
That is from Sydney, Australia to Santiago, Chile.
Okay. What heading is that?
Well, if I go back in the ForeFlight and I look at the flight plan,
Okay.
look at our nav log.
Okay.
Oops. Oh, come on. I gotta reach over to different places here. I'm doing two things at once.
While you do that,
132 magnetic.
just while you do that, Robert, yep. I have a ball here. Do you see this? Do you see this, Quincy? I drew a straight line on it. So there you go.
Yeah.
But what you drew, MC Tune, what was an arc?
Yeah, over the surface of over the surface of this sphere, I drew a straight line, which when you look at it from the side, that's an arc. That's right, from the side.
You drew an arc,
but I drew a straight line on it. See, east west. East west is straight. East west.
Okay, but when you're a pilot, you don't fly arcs. Pilots fly straight lines. Pilots fly straight lines.
Even you fly arcs. But I'll go back to okay.
All right. So let's quantify that. Let's clarify a little bit, Quincy. So this is representing a straight path across the ground on the globe. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So if I'm flying along at say 38,000 feet, and I'm going to kind of change this so we see it at a little more of an angle.
Show me what the flight plan is. No. See?
No, hang on. Let me finish asking the question, then I'll let you answer. So if I'm flying along at 38,000 feet from Sydney to Santiago, so I'm maintaining that exact same altitude on the globe, is that going to be a flat line or is that going to be an arc?
It's good. It is. What it is a flat line.
It is what? It is what?
A flat line.
Okay, but am I maintaining the same altitude or not?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
So that's what makes it a flat line, because you are maintaining the same altitude and you are maintaining the same heading.
All right, so I think we're making progress here. So you've admitted that it's a straight line across the ground. You've admitted that as I'm flying along, I'm maintaining the exact same altitude. I'm not climbing an altitude.
Because you've also admitted that this is a straight line, and from my point, it's a straight line over a flat plane, because you can draw a straight line over a flat plane, and you can only draw an arc over a sphere. And us as pilots, we don't fly arcs. We fly lines.
You fly a desired altitude, right?
Which is a line, a straight line.
Well, on your flat Earth, it is a line. On the globe, it's an arc. It's an arc following a straight line across the ground.
Airplanes don't fly arcs,
Airplanes fly altitudes.
which are lines based at a certain level. And you know that.
Lines at a certain altitude, right?
And lines like 38,000 feet flight level, 380 is a line.
Yeah, but at 38 level, hang on. We're gonna see if I can find a way to represent this. Here's our little globe. 38,000 feet is the same. This is ignore terrain. If I'm over the ocean, 38,000 feet is the same place going all the way around the globe.
What? The airplane is not flying an arc, sir.
Why not?
Because you're always at a level flight altitude.
Altitude is in relation to what?
To the ground.
Exactly.
To the ground.
All right. Good. We're making progress. So if the ground is
not
because the Earth is like, hang on, let's under it for a second. If the ocean, I'm going to say the ocean because let's ignore terrain. If the ocean is an arc because it's a globe and the aircraft is staying 38,000 feet above the ocean, would that be an arc to match? Just hypothetically, you don't have to say it's flat Earth, the globe. Just hypothetically, if I'm flying at 38,000 feet above the ocean on the globe, is that going to be making an arc?
No.
Hypothetically.
Why are we not talking what actually happens? Reality.
Because I'm trying to make sure you understand the globe model before you try to debunk it. So on the globe, if I'm flying the same altitude above the ocean as I'm flying over the globe, would that altitude be following an arc following the same curvature of the Earth? Yes or no?
No.
Why not?
Because the airplane is always level.
No, that's not what I asked.
Why do you refuse, plan.
Quincy?
Well, no, wait. Go show us this plan you made, and show us the flight altitude.
The altitude is 38,000 feet.
Okay, now at what point does that change?
It never changes. I'm staying at 38,000 feet.
Okay, now what is your heading? You said 132, right?
The initial heading was 132.
So when does that change?
Well, the nav system's going to constantly do it, but that's irrelevant to what I'm trying to say.
No.
It's irrelevant.
Rob, no, it's not.
It is irrelevant.
It's not, Rob, because here's why. Yeah. If the altitude doesn't change and the heading doesn't change, you're flying a line.
Yeah. Right.
On an arc, on what you're showing me, there should be a heading change. There should be an altitude change, but there's not, Rob.
Why would there be an altitude change?
Because
why would there be an altitude change?
Because if airplanes fly an arc like what you're saying, then there should be an altitude change.
So if you trim your aircraft to maintain 38,000 feet, why would it change altitude?
Because according to you, I'm flying an arc. So
no.
Arc is not.
Okay, hang on. Let's be more specific. When you trim your aircraft to maintain an altitude, what's the external influence that you're actually trimming the aircraft for?
I'm trimming the airplane to make sure that my attitude is level with the horizon.
Okay, but if I trim the aircraft to maintain 38,000 feet, what is the trim adjusting for to make it maintain 38,000 feet?
The trim is adjusting for the control pressures, so that I'm not fighting the plane. So that
all right. All right. So when you trim the aircraft, are you trimming it to? Is the trim tied to the altimeter, or is the trim you're trimming the aircraft out for the pressure altitude you happen to be at that point in time? I'm
trimming the airplane so I'm level.
No, that's not what I asked. I mean, let's try one more time.
But I'm saying that's what trim is used for. Trim is used to make sure that when you take your hands off the plane, it doesn't go anywhere. We even call trim poor man's autopilot.
Okay,
poor man's autopilot.
Okay, all right, we got that. So when you trim the aircraft, what is it adjusting?
It's adjusting your attitude to make sure that you're level.
But what physical control surface is it adjusting?
There's a small trim tab one or two on the back of the elevator. Some
Okay.
planes,
All right. So I'm going to kind of explain it, and then we'll see if you would agree with me or not. When you trim the aircraft, say at 38,000 feet, the air pressure is 27 inches. Let's say it's probably going to be less than 38,000 feet, but let's just say it's 10 inches. Are you trimming the aircraft for the air pressure and that's matching that particular altitude?
Rob, no. Trim has nothing to do with air pressure at all.
So what does your altimeter measure?
My altimeter, now see, that does measure air pressure. That measures pressure altitude.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
So your altimeter is measuring the air pressure. You get up to altitude, you trim the aircraft so you can let go. You're flying straight and level. So You're saying what would happen if you've trimmed the aircraft and then you fly through a weather front and now the air pressure has gone up an inch? What's going to happen to the aircraft altitude?
It's gonna be changed.
Okay, so you've trimmed the aircraft to maintain a certain altitude. You fly through a weather front. The air pressure has changed. Why is the aircraft's altitude going to change?
Well, because the actual altitude didn't change. Just the altimeter is what actually changed, right? I'm still flying at the same indicated, but just my pressure altitude has changed.
So you're saying the aircraft. Hang on, I want to make sure I understand. So you're saying that you trim the aircraft to maintain 38,000 feet. You fly through a weather front. The pressure changes by an inch. Are you saying you're still going to be at the exact same altitude?
I mean, my altimeter will show me that I'm going to be a little bit lower, but my flight attitude is still level.
I would suggest you go back and you hit the books, because if the altimeter is going to sense the pressure change, the aircraft was trimmed. Hang on, let me finish. Hang on. The aircraft was trimmed for the pressure level which corresponded with the altimeter. So if it happened to be 23 inches of pressure, you've trimmed the aircraft to maintain that particular pressure level.
But my attitude is still level, Rob.
I don't care about the attitude.
Well, what do you mean? That means level.
We're talking about altitude here, not attitude.
But attitude is what is means we're level. That's
I don't
what
care
we're
about attitude. I care about altitude.
We don't care about altitude.
Quincy, what's the difference between attitude and altitude?
Attitude has to do with the airplane's situational awareness to the horizon.
All right.
And that's what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about altitude.
Is how high you are.
All I'm talking right now is altitude. That's all I care about. Ignore attitude.
So
if I trim the aircraft to maintain an altitude and I fly through a weather front which changes the air pressure, is the aircraft going to go up, go down, or stay the same?
The airplane will stay the same, but the altimeter will just show an error. But the actual plane will stay the same.
All right, I suggest you go back and you reread the chapter you skipped, because the aircraft, if the air pressure changes, the aircraft is going to automatically adjust itself to meet that pressure level.
Rob, that's not true. No, not true, Rob.
It is
That's
true.
not true.
It is true. Go back and read your books again. Well, what's the reason as you're flying along, Quincy? I know you don't go out of your neighborhood very often, but what's the reason that as you're flying along, you get frequent updates from ATC of pressure levels?
Because the pressure changes as you fly.
So why is it important?
Where you are.
Why is it important that air traffic control gives you updates?
Right, because the pressure changes. But
okay, so you said it. So why is it important that ATC tells you to update your altimeter?
Because your pressure changes, and they want to make sure that you're at the right indicated altitude. So
there you go. So you just admitted that changes in pressure affect your altitude.
But I said the airplane does not change. the altimeter only changes.
Yeah. So if the altimeter, oh man, we can go around this around. You're wrong, dude. Go back and read the chapter.
You know what?
Yes, you're totally wrong.
Listen.
Yes, you need to relearn that lesson.
From high to low, look out below. From hot to cold, look out below. From low to high, you're in the sky.
Yep.
So meaning that if you're flying from a higher pressure to a lower pressure, the altimeter is going to show that you're higher than you actually are.
Yeah, dude, I'm not going to argue this anymore. Go back, go ask another flight instructor, go read a book. I don't care what you got to do. You're wrong on this. Let's move on.
But where we've gone though is you showing me an arc right here.
Yep.
And I'm telling you that we don't fly an arc, because if your heading, Rob, is 132 and you're at a flight level 380, which I'm sure you agree, if those two things are constant, that is a line.
Quincy, just for clarification, only your initial heading is 132. As you're flying around, you're gonna make an adjustment. I'm gonna move on because we got a lot more stuff to cover here. Give me this 1 second. Where did it go?
I think you lost, man. That one.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk about a flight that happens in the real world on the globe. This is the Sydney to Sydney to Johannesburg. I want to cover one other first, real quick. We'll do the Sydney to Santiago flight. So I'm going to bring this up. This flight actually, I think there's actually the Sydney to Johannesburg is actually in flight right now. But this flight again goes from Sydney to Sydney to Santiago, Chile. It's a direct flight. It's flown by Qantas, and it takes it about 12 hours. This flight on the globe, as you kind of come down here, I know you'll be able to read it, so I'm just going to read it out to you, is 6,130 nautical miles. So on the globe, this is a real world flight that people fly. You kind of see it flies Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. So every Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday, this flight's happening pretty continuously.
What is that blue area?
The ocean.
Could go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ocean.
No. Do you see that chart right there?
This stuff down here?
No, just keep going down.
Oh, that's basically that graph. It's a graph of altitude and it's a graph of airspeed. Let's
go ahead and zoom in, Rob, on that.
All right, I'll bring it up for you. 1 second.
Okay.
I gotta copy it into Paint so I can zoom in on it. So, there you go. That's pretty big.
No. Okay, there we go. Excellent. So if we read, great. So if we read that, how would you read that, Rob?
So they were, I gotta get my colors again here, so this is my color vision is gonna kill me. But they were, hang on. So your green is your altitude. So you said they basically reach cruising altitude at right about, looks like 34,000 feet, and they maintained that while their speed was fluctuating a little bit.
Okay.
So they maintained about 34,000 feet for the entire flight.
Got it. Where's the curve at, Rob?
They maintained 34,000 feet.
Rob, where's the curve, Rob?
I already told you, they maintained 34,000 feet, which is a arc following the Earth.
And if you maintain now, in airplane terms, what do we call that? Flight level what?
Flight level 380.
Flight level. Flight level.
Level is maintaining the same altitude.
Level. And back here, they even drew a line. You see how that they drew a line?
Level is maintaining the same altitude. All right, I'm gonna move on because you're not gonna grasp this. All right, hang on.
Wait,
hang on. We're gonna move on. I don't want to keep arguing this point that you're not gonna get. So,
okay.
So this is a real world flight. Do you agree this is an actual flight? Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
All right, great. So now let's bring up what do you, if I were to ask you, what's the most accurate flat Earth map you can come up with?
Oh my gosh! Because I'm gonna talk about the AE map because that's all. You know what? And I don't even think that's even like all the way right.
No kidding.
So what's your best? What's the most accurate one you can think of?
I would say the A map that we use.
So like Gleason's?
The one that the pilots use when they do a great circle route.
Yeah. So if I'm using a because obviously like, we're not flying those type of flights, but if you go in like the world charts, I'm just gonna bring it up. Do you think that Gleason's map? Actually, I would pick a different one here. 1 second. So Gleason's. Here we go. Do you consider this to be a semi-accurate representation of the flat Earth map?
I think it's more accurate than the globe is.
Okay, great. So let's take this map and let's look at this Sydney to Santiago flight. Well, first of all, there's on all of these AE maps or the Gleason maps, there is no scale. So there's no way, we look at our flight charts, it shows in the bottom corner, 1 inch equals 100 miles. So it's really easy to take your protractor and figure out miles. But on the AE maps, there is no scale because if you look at the patent on these maps, they essentially tell you, Gleason in his patent says that distances are only accurate from the center point outwards. And as you if you kind of going east to west, it becomes more and more distorted the further south you go. That's in the patent for these maps. So since there's no scale for me to try to measure this, what I did is I took the known distance. What is LA to Miami is about 2,000. I know it's too tiny for you to see, but I'll zoom way in here. So LA to Miami is 2,025 nautical miles. So I took that line and then
Wait. You took that what?
All right. So this is the United States, right?
So you took that line, right?
Yep. So I took a known quantity. I know that it's 2,000 miles from LA to Miami. Yes or no?
You're drawing a line on a flat plane. Again,
I agree with you.
Lines.
I agree with you. Hang on.
Okay, there we go.
Quincy, chill out for a second. I'll explain what I'm trying to show you here. You ready?
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So since there is no scale on a Gleason map, I said, let me take a known quantity, which is the LA to Miami flight is a little over 2,000 miles. So I took that line and I used that as my reference scale. So then I copied that line and I basically outlaid it. This path you're seeing from upper left to lower right is from Sydney to Santiago, Chile. And the first thing you're noticing at the actual path is crossing over the United States. Well, the actual flight doesn't. It actually dips down towards Antarctica, but that's one point. The other point is as I basically take my reference line and I try to basically place it for the entire length of that flight, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and about 4.6 lengths of that LA to Miami flight. So when I add that up, that essentially comes out to 11,542 estimated nautical miles. So what's the longest range that a 787 Dreamliner, which is the airplane was doing this flight, that can fly?
I'm not sure.
All right, so I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna zoom way in here for you. This is the reference from Boeing. The furthest range that a Dreamliner can fly is 7,565 nautical miles. So on the flat Earth map, again, we go back, just estimating the mileage because there is no accurate map. It's over 11,000 feet. It is impossible for any modern airliner to fly that flight on the flat Earth map. It's physically impossible.
Why have you drawn lines here and not arcs?
Because I'm trying to show you on your flat Earth map.
Right.
I'm not showing you on the globe. I'm showing you on your flat Earth map.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. So since there is no scale for me to use, I kind of had to make my own scale and estimate the distance. So the distance is over 11,000 nautical miles. the furthest an Airbus a 787 can fly is 7,500 miles. So that's over 400 miles further than any airliner can fly nonstop. So how do you explain how this real world flight can happen if the Earth is flat?
Well, that, you know what? That's a good point. You know, there's a lot of things that when it comes to some of these like flights, I mean, I'm not an airline pilot. I haven't flown across the world, across Atlantic, but I do know this though. All the airline pilots or jet guys that I talk flat Earth to, that they always tell me, well, no, we use a great circle route. So I did a little bit of homework from MC Toon, right? And looked into a great circle route, and all they did was take the globe and turn it into a flat map.
So can you in your own words explain to me what is a great circle route?
A great circle route is the shortest distance between 2 points on a sphere. But in the model, all they do is take the globe and turn it into a flat map, which is why the maps that we fly with are flat maps.
All right, so here is a 2D representation of the flight we're looking at. Oh, come on, I'm trying to get this thing to sort well. You can kind of see it. So is that a great circle route?
Again, here we go again. This is an arc. We don't fly arcs.
Is it an arc, or is it simply a 2D representation of the shortest path on a globe?
Does the airplane fly that path? No.
Rotation is Syrian.
I need to turn off Siri on my iPad. It keeps talking to me. So this is a 2D representation of that flight on the globe.
Does the airplane fly that path though, Rob? No.
It does.
No, it does not.
Hang on. Okay, you made a claim. Let me show you. If we go back and we look at the actual flight path on ForeFlight of this flight. Oh my God.
Let me show you.
Be quiet, Siri. Turn off the iPad. If we look at the actual flight path for that flight, wrong one. I got too many tabs open up here. Here we go. Does that look familiar to what ForeFlight's basically showing you?
But that's not what the bottom graph shows me.
The bottom graph is only showing you altitude and airspeed.
But the bottom graph is showing me that they're level the whole time.
No, the bottom graph is showing you they sit at the same altitude the entire time.
What's the heading?
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. No, it's not.
All right. So let me ask you another really, really basic question.
Okay.
Is the curvature of the Earth a change in altitude?
Is the curvature of the Earth a change? You mean this curvature that I can't see, but you say it's there, but yet we can't correct for it? You mean that kind of curvature, right?
Is it a change in altitude? That's my question.
Is it a change in altitude? I would say no.
All right. So if I'm flying, okay, hang on. So you admitted that the curvature of the Earth is not a change in altitude. So if I'm flying around the curve of the Earth, maintaining the exact same altitude, why is that a problem for you?
Because as the ground would drop from beneath me, that would change my altitude. Even though,
we're gonna do another example here. We're gonna go back to our pretty little globe. I'm gonna basically, where my finger is at, I know it's tiny on your screen. I'm gonna do it this way. Let's just say that the first knuckle on my finger is 38,000 feet. If I'm here over the Indian Ocean,
Rob, you should stop sharing your screen so people can see it.
Let me do that. Here we go. So if my first knuckle on my finger is 38,000 feet, there we go. Bring it over here. So how high above the ground am I at that point in time?
You're 38,000 feet.
Okay. I'm right here. How high above the ground am I?
But what's your plane's attitude? And yeah, it does matter.
All right, so answer the question first. How high am I above the ground?
38,000 feet. But what's your attitude?
Okay. So how high am I above the ground?
Oh, okay. You guys,
one more time. One more time.
you're
38,000 feet,
showing
right?
me a toy, Rob.
Okay, 38,000 feet, right?
Show me some real.
38,000 feet, right? Just answer the
That's
question.
major level, flight level,
All right.
flight level.
Okay, so here's our aircraft again. So the aircraft is flying along. We know you already admitted earlier that, or we explained that down is towards the center of the Earth. So if my lift vector, when I'm flying straight and level, my lift vector is always going to be down towards the Earth, right?
Down, straight down.
Straight down towards the Earth, right?
Vertical down.
Good progress. So if it's always straight down, perpendicular to the Earth, it doesn't matter if I'm here, if I'm here, the lift vector is always going to be down towards the middle of the Earth, right?
Well, not if you're sideways like that.
Why am I sideways?
Because you're on a ball.
Which way
And
is down where the airplane is at right now?
Right.
Which way is down?
Which way is down, bro?
This is a fundamental question that I'm trying to get through to you. Which way, underneath the aircraft, which way is down?
Which way is down? Down should be where all the weight is centered.
Yep, which is basically to the middle of the Earth. Down is always to the middle of the Earth. Do you understand that or not?
I mean,
now you would have a perfect case. If this airplane, if I do this, now I've got a positive angle of attack, right?
okay.
So at that point in time, I'm going to start gaining altitude. But if
How do you solve it?
Right, if I'm flying level, meaning I'm maintaining the same altitude, and as I'm flying around the Earth, I'm maintaining the same altitude. I'm maintaining a negative pitch angle, or a +2 pitch angle, like a lot of our airplanes fly at. But I'm maintaining the same altitude. Is that lift vector is always going to be pointing down to the middle of the Earth, and hence I'm not going to be doing something crazy like you're something where my angle of attack is going to change as I'm flying around the curve.
So when do we correct for this curvature though?
Why would you? If your lift vector is always down toward the middle of the Earth, as you're flying along, is that lift vector going to stay where it was here?
We correct for everything is flying from wind to temperature to runway, right, to weight. You're telling me that there's a curve and there's no correction for it, Rob? Are you serious? No way. No way.
Dude, you're totally avoiding the question. Which way? I'm gonna ask one more time because you're still not getting it. If you're flying straight and level, your lift vector is always straight down, right?
That's level.
Correct.
Always, only if you're level.
Good. So you're in the same place. So as I'm flying along, is the lift vector?
Nope.
Is it still? Hang on.
No.
We're gonna try to do this. Hang on.
It's not.
I'm not done yet.
You're not level.
Hang on. I'm not done yet. Listen. Right now, the lift vector is here, right?
Yes.
So if the airplane starts coming down,
you're not level.
Hang on. If the airplane is now over here,
why?
The lift vector is here, right?
Why are you flying in that arc? Airplanes don't fly that.
The Earth is a globe.
Airplanes fly level. You're saying
okay.
What? We do. We fly level.
You're in a loop. You're in a loop.
I'm giving up on this point.
Yeah.
You can't be ignorant. So we're gonna move on.
No, what I mean again, I do this every day, bro.
Yeah, you need to go back to school for a bit. I'll be blunt, and I'm gonna be a little harsh because I explained to MC to him beforehand that I've got a sick pet that may not make it. So if I bite your head off, I'm not in a very good mood right now.
No,
but you need to go back to school because you don't understand how trim works. You don't understand how the relationship between your lift vector is.
You're wrong, Rob.
No, you're wrong.
Maybe
but I'm gonna move on to something. I'm gonna move on to something more fun because this is getting really boring. let's talk. You mentioned GPS a little bit ago. I'm going to share my screen out again. I'm going to move on to something more fun because this thing is getting boring. All right. So this is, have you ever flown any aircraft with a G1000 in it yet?
Oh, bro. Heck, man.
Yeah, is that a yes
I've
or
been
no?
flying more G1000s now than I ever have.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I love flying a G1000. It's so much
Yeah, I know,
easier
it's
than
cool.
flying steam instruments. So what is this screen in the G1000?
Okay, right now you're showing me, let's see, GPS strength. You're showing me like this this is the satellite status.
Okay, great. So what are each one of these green bars down at the bottom? What are they showing me?
The strength of the GPS satellites, I guess, right?
Fantastic. So it sounds like you agree that GPS is satellite based.
No, I don't.
You
No,
just said it's the single strength of the satellites.
Well, quote unquote satellites.
So,
But I mean, remember.
all right. So you explain to me, if they're not satellites,
Rob,
where are these signals coming from?
I think it's all. If you do a homework, right?
Yeah, I have. Trust me.
Okay, so if you look up the history of airplane navigation, right? Everything from like dead reckoning to NDBs to VORs, right? Right. Even the old Loran, it's all ground based.
Yeah. So what were the limitations? Hang on. So what were the limitations of things like VORs?
Like things like slant range error. They were too far away that they would only work via slant range. So if your plane was too far away,
have you ever gone out of range of GPS?
I know there's okay, look, there's times even in my car where I don't even get good quote unquote GPS coverage.
We're talking more about airplanes. Because in your car, it's actually pretty easy if you're driving around the city and you're getting between too many buildings, it can block the signal. But let's talk about airplanes. Have you ever lost GPS in your airplane?
Not that I'm not sure. You know, I'm not even. You know, like I mean,
it's a yes or no question. Have you ever lost GPS in your airplane?
Not radar. GPS.
No, I talk about radar. I talk about GPS.
I'm not even paying attention to that stuff.
Dude, it's a simple question. Have you lost it or not?
Well, I don't know. You know, I mean.
Let me help you,
Because I can tell you, if you lose it, you start getting all kinds of crazy G1000 warnings saying you lost it. So you know it.
Quincy, just say no. You've never lost it. We all know. You don't need to try to avoid it. It's not helping.
Well, I mean. Oh, okay, no.
Okay. So the issue with things like VORs is, you know, VORs, MDBs, they have limited range because they're ground-based, right?
Right.
So, but GPS, as you're flying along, it doesn't matter if you're, you know, flying over the United States, flying over the ocean, you never lose it because the signal's coming from satellites. It's not ground-based. If it was ground-based, you would have that issue of, oh, I'm losing the signal because I'm too far away from the tower. But that never happens with GPS. As long as you got a clear view of the sky, you've got a signal.
Until like you said, if there's a building or something blocking it, or if I go under a tunnel.
I sure hope you're not doing that with your airplane.
Yeah, what the heck are you doing, Quincy? Do not fly your plane through tunnels.
Hey, who was that? that guy, the red bull guy. He flew through.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. I admit that.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm pretty sure he lost his GPS signal as he was flying through the tunnel. But we're talking about airplanes here.
But that shouldn't happen if there's satellites. If there's satellites.
What if you're flying through a tunnel? What's between you and the satellite?
A bunch of dirt.
A whole bunch of dirt and rock and stuff blocking the signal.
You know, listen. Here's the cool part about being a flat Earth pilot.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
No, if space is imaginary, and they're lying about space, guess who the next level of experts are? Pilots. Pilots. And that's beautiful. That's wonderful.
All right. So we're going back on track here. So I think we've come to the conclusion that they're not towers because you can go out of range of towers. So where you can see I'm locked on to 12 different satellites here. Where's the source of that signal coming from?
I don't know.
That's a good thing for you to research then, because if you don't know, maybe it's something you should figure out, because it's pretty important for a pilot to understand this. So if you ever, I guess something for you to try in the future is if you go out to the aircraft and you power it on, and you kind of go to the screen and you watch the location of the satellites you're seeing underneath the constellation, you're going to see them moving. And if they were towers, would they be moving?
I mean, listen, how many
another yes or no question.
Wait a minute. There's like, they say between 13 and 15,000 satellites up there. They don't even have an exact number? What? Like, really, Rob? There's no exact number of satellites?
Dude, you're diverting. Where's the signal coming from?
I'm not, because like the idea of satellites to me, it just seems so ridiculous. It seems so ridiculous.
Dude, stop diverting. Where's the signal coming from?
Where? Tell me. I don't know.
They're coming from satellites.
And where are those satellites at?
They're in orbit of the Earth.
They're in orbit in outer space, someplace I don't believe in.
Well, that's not our problem.
So how they're doing it, I don't know. Is it drones? You know, they have some of these some of these like spy planes that can be like on board. Oh, also there's weather balloons up there, Rob. You know that.
So
weather balloons are up there.
So how does? Okay, so hang on. So you're thinking of weather balloons. So how does GPS actually work? What method is it using to find where your location around the Earth?
It uses triangulation.
Triangulation, or you sure about that?
I'm just going shot in the dark.
You're making it up as you go along.
Try what? Is it something similar?
Trilateration.
Trilateral. Okay.
Actually,
Triangle,
it's multilateration because it's more than three.
Yep. Correct. So it's not triangulation where it's basically like if you're using a VOR, we would use multiple VORs to triangulate where we're at. Where GPS is actually it gets a signal down from all the satellites it's talking to, saying this is our location in space. And then the time it took for that signal to get from the satellite to your receiver, and it takes that information using trilateration to figure out where you're at. So if you're looking at balloons that get blown around the wind in random locations, this thing would be inaccurate as hell because they would be all over the place. So no, not balloons, but nice try.
Why do we have all these
better ideas?
Why do we have all these weather balloons, Rob, if we have satellites?
Because the weather balloons are to measure the weather in the atmosphere. Satellites are above
Hold on. I have a question. Quincy, do motorcycles exist?
Yes, they do.
Then why are you in a car if motorcycles exist?
Okay, I see.
Research fake cars.
Okay. Good one. Good one.
So,
good one.
Do you remember this, Quincy, from a couple months ago? I'm going to see if I can zoom it in a little bigger here. Do you remember the Chinese weather balloon?
Right.
So as it was crossing the country, people were, taking their P900s and other cameras and tracking this thing flying through the sky. It was at like 60,000 feet, something like that.
Right.
So people were able to actually see that Chinese weather balloon going across the sky, but yet you're claiming that GPS is a network of a whole bunch of weather balloons that nobody sees.
Well, I spoke to a YouTube pilot last year. He told me that between about 70 and 90,000 feet, there's hundreds of weather balloons up there.
So your YouTube pilot is your authority.
Huh?
So your authority is a YouTube pilot that you probably never met. You probably didn't verify his credentials. Didn't verify it.
No.
Kind of like Mark Sargent.
Not YouTube. YouTube. Like the airplane.
Yeah, he's in the band with Bono and The Edge.
Yeah.
And again, that's what he told me. And so I'm like, wow, why are there so many balloons between 60 and 90,000 feet? How do we know that they're not using some of that stuff for GPS?
Can I?
Okay. So we got hundreds of balloons up there that never fall the sky, never get refueled. They follow random courses. Yeah, that would make a pretty crappy system.
Or we have satellites that somehow spin up there when the Earth is spinning, and they have to be charged. Meanwhile, Elon Musk still can't get stuff in space as we speak.
Well, you do realize that SpaceX on their Falcon 9 rockets launches about, I think last year they launched 60 launches into space of random satellites, thousands of their Starlink satellites. You can be in the middle of nowhere with a Starlink satellite dish and pick up internet that you didn't used to be able to do before they launched all these satellites. So you're referring to the recent Starship launch, which is a test launch of a brand new rocket that blew up. Meanwhile, they're planning on doing about 100 launches there this year on their very reliable Falcon 9 rocket, launching thousands of satellites into space. So you can't take the test launch of a brand new rocket and say they never get anything into space. But we're gonna pause here for a minute because we got a half an hour left. There are some audience questions that Mike wants to cover. So let's give everybody else a chance to ask you some questions.
All right. And we don't want to get too deep into these here, and I'll let people know if people are too rude. I'm just gonna not read your question. But I got to say, in the live chat, thank you to the moderators and to the people in general. You've all been as kind as I have been expecting you to, for the most part. I thank you for that. A few people got some warnings, and we pulled them back. So thank you for that, people. Lael early on said, "How much do you want to bet that the flat earther will deny simple truth so that he can stay on his fantasy flat earth?"
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Again,
that was a cheap shot. We'll move on.
Yeah. Come on. I mean, let's.
So, all right. PhD Tony says that he feels for you, that you fell into a dark emotional and mental health state after your injury, and it can happen. And it can happen to anyone. So he's sending some
MC Tune. That was the best thing that ever, bro. When I became awake to the world, that's what allowed me to have hope and positivity to know that, oh my gosh, there's a dark force out there that's trying to corrupt the world. Like, my problems are so small because of what's actually been happening in the world. So I mean, the stuff that I learned, it couldn't have came at the right time. Especially flat Earth, with me being a pilot. Anyway, next.
Well, I gotta say, I do very much appreciate that you took a bad thing and you used it for good. So I appreciate that.
And now I'm at the airport every day, flying around, doing landings, people like me. I'm showing folks how to use their feet, and I can't use mine.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
All right.
Great job.
Mr. Lonely says, Flurf car debate, classic derp incoming. Bill Tetley says, thank you, FC Tune, for your great content. Please praise Jehovah Jireh, glory to God, Isaiah 40:22, and hail Sagan. Thank you for that. Sagan, that'd be Carl Sagan. The Sun Express says, how many straws being grabbed a hay bale can be produced? It'd be a straw bale. Now, I mentioned to you about that flight and QF-27. And I said, hey, get the chart that flight. And you didn't. And he brought it up, and you didn't have anything.
No, you see, I don't want to like go down a hole or a rabbit hole. That's not my expertise.
But you're a pilot. So pilots have to chart routes. So your expertise, if you want to continue being a pilot, should certainly be charting routes. So I don't know why you wouldn't have any like you. I would figure you just jump right into it and say, I'm going to show how to chart this route. I can do it. I can jump on SkyVector and do it, and actually chart that route. I can look at the route that's been done, and I can put the waypoints in, and I can use that same thing in SkyVector myself. I'm not a pilot, and I can do it. You are a pilot. I would totally expect you to jump on that.
I try to make flat Earth easy for people to understand.
That's a totally different topic. All right.
Well, because that's complex. So when for me to dive down there
as a pilot, you should be able to do it nice and easily because you're a pilot. So I would love to see that. All right, we got to keep going though. Mr. Bob of the YouTube family says, my eyes are detecting a drift, a 15-degree-per-hour drift.
I don't know if you did catch that joke or not, but
I don't think so. He didn't. He doesn't know who Bob is. So, this is Motor Parts Guru Restoration Channel, and it's this person's first super chat ever. It says, who would ride in a plane that this guy's flying? So, do you fly, or is it your students that do the flying?
It's me and both. I mean, like I fly, my students fly. Sometimes I like ferry airplanes.
Yeah. We do have a funny saying for primary flight instructors. Primary flight instructors are ones that are teaching brand new pilots, is they're getting paid to have somebody try to kill them all day long.
People try to kill me every day.
Yeah.
People try to kill me every single day.
Yeah.
You know why? You want to know why? Because they're not keeping it level. They're not keeping it flat. And even on the landing, I say, keep it flat. Keep it flat. Keep it flat.
I hope you're not doing that, because they can have a little bit of a positive angle of attack to land the airplane.
Yeah. All right. Earth is Life says, excuse me. It says, this is a prime example of an honest person being misled, and it's very sad.
Very true.
Tyler M says, the immense levels of denialism by flirts never ceases to amaze me, which is amazing itself since they all equally devoid of healthy brain meat. Now, in a zombie apocalypse, do you think that you would be safe?
Honestly, we're at the airport. People are talking about it right now.
The zombie apocalypse?
Bro, the guy was saying if the dollars go to crash soon, we're gonna all meet at a certain hangar and everything. I'm like, wow.
That's not the zombie apocalypse. That's a whole different thing.
Really?
The zombie apocalypse is when the zombies come out, and have you never seen a zombie movie? Come on.
Man, I've seen real zombies, man. People are still wearing masks. Rob, they're flying airplanes and they're wearing masks in the cockpit.
All right, stay on topic here, buddy.
Okay.
Under the same topic is they don't allow pilots to carry weapons on the airplanes, but yet they have their hands on the controls.
Yeah.
They don't need a weapon to crash an airplane.
What are you doing, Robert?
Just agreeing. Some of the rules are really stupid.
No, what are you holding up?
I'm not holding anything up. Hang on.
I'm looking at an old play. All right. Fa of the QTube family says he's in his car. Is it a Dodge by chance? Is your car? What's the make of your car?
It's an Infiniti G35.
All right, not a Dodge.
Yeah.
All right. Lael says, Quincy, when you fly at 45,000 feet above sea level, are the continents or the oceans below the airplane? Please define horizon.
I don't fly that high. I can only say what I see.
What's
And
the highest?
normally,
What's the highest you've flown?
me, I've been about 12.5.
12,000. All right. We've got Wolfie 6020, who you spoke to before.
Oh, Wolfie's here.
Oh my gosh! Who flies? What kind of plane does he fly?
I think he flies like like corporate type jets. I think that's what he flies.
Corporate jets.
Here.
It's the Bombardier 7000, Global Express 7000, I think.
Wait, say it again, MC Toon. He flies what? A Global Express jet.
That's right.
Global Express jet.
There you
Just
go.
the word
fly around the globe.
Yeah,
right. So he can't come out and say the Earth is flat because
why would he? Because the Earth is not. He couldn't.
Why would he lie like a flat earther?
Yeah, he couldn't do his job if he thought the Earth was flat. Of course, the Earth is a globe.
Yeah.
So, all right.
No.
Wolfie says, ask him what he does when he notices his altitude is slightly too high. What does he do to the nose of the aircraft if the altitude is too high?
The same thing I do when my altitude is low. When I'm high, I get back down to level. When I'm low, I'll get back up to level.
But which way do you point your nose? Is what he's asking. If you're too high, which way do you point the nose?
Down to the descend because I'm too high.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Wolfie, for that. Serena's One says, how do pressure altimeters work without gravity? That's a good one.
Rob?
You want me to answer?
Rob doesn't think that gravity doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's to you, Quincy.
Oh, okay. Well, gravity has no effect on pressure whatsoever.
So let me add a follow-up question to that one real fast. What causes the pressure gradient?
What causes the pressure gradient?
Yep.
Oh, don't tell me Coriolis force.
Nope, not Coriolis. Definitely not.
Because that's also something that they just clearly, yeah.
We don't have time to talk about that. But what causes the pressure gradient?
Back to the topic, yeah.
Pressure gradient. Heat exchanges from to different parts of the world are getting hot and cold. So it's changes in air temperature.
So if you're, is there a pressure gradient from sea level to 10 feet above the ground?
I would say yes.
All right. So you're then just, actually, I'm going to say even within my room right here, is there a pressure gradient?
Yes.
So it's all the exact same temperature. There's no wind currents. So how could there be a pressure gradient in a room with static air that at all the same temperature by what you just said?
Make it easy, Rob. Make it easy. Don't try to intentionally confuse me because
I'm not.
That's pretty easy.
You said pressure gradients are caused by air currents and temperature, but if you're in a room that's all the same temperature, there's no air currents, yet you can still measure a pressure gradient. What's causing the pressure gradient?
Tell me.
Gravity.
No. No.
Yeah. Then explain why.
Then Quincy, don't say no. Provide the actual empirical answer.
Well, because his answer is just, okay, it's gravity. Like,
okay, well, provide your answer.
Okay, Quincy, I'll explain more. The weight of the air above is pushing down on the air below.
Yes.
Hence, the pressure is higher down below.
Yes.
The weight pushing down is because of gravity.
Well, the
so
weight.
What's your alternative explanation?
the weight, again, how do we measure the weight of the air?
He's doing it right there.
Right. Wait, right. So not gravity, weight.
How do you
Not
calculate
gravity,
weight?
Yeah.
Weight.
How do you calculate weight?
Again, lift over is it lift
Topic
over
change.
weight or
Topic
lift over
change.
gravity?
Quincy, what's the formula to calculate weight?
What formula to calculate weight?
I'll give you a hint. It's a second law of motion.
What do you take? So it was like mass times.
Yeah, you're close.
I forget. But look.
Hang on. I'll let Mike tell you.
F equals ma is the formula. Force equals mass times acceleration. So force would be weight. So when you have a mass and you accelerate that mass down, that's weight. So there's something causing the weight, and we're simply asking you, who has rejected the empirically confirmed answer, you if you're going to reject that, then you're going to present then your other proposed empirically confirmed answer, right? I mean, that'd be ridiculous if you didn't.
Yeah. So if we can measure a pressure gradient inside of a room, what's causing the pressure gradient?
Or even
Tell us,
better,
Rob.
can you measure a pressure gradient inside of a sealed tube like this?
Yep.
A sealed tube where you can't introduce new air at the bottom because it's, like I said, sealed. I know you haven't seen this before. This is a new thing I have.
Yeah. So if you don't believe in gravity, what's your explanation of what causes the pressure gradient?
Well, my definition of what causes the pressure gradient is just temperature and.
And we already said we can measure a pressure gradient inside of a room that's all the same temperature. So it's not temperature.
Okay, so it could just be the pressure of the air that's weighed. So if it's more air, then it's more of a fluid, then it could weigh more.
So gravity is what you said then.
I mean, I don't know, but I mean, look, you
right.
guys, come on,
All
guys.
right, answer for Stringer
Let's
one
do the research.
He doesn't know, but yeah, you could look it up. All right,
Yeah.
The Sun Express is quote, "Down on your world is south," end quote. That was funny. Can't believe you said that. That's silly. All right, Jolene says, Quincy, greetings from San Francisco.
Hey, tell her to come to my flight school.
I don't know if many people in this audience are going to be excited. Right
Come
now.
to my flight school, California Airways.
All
I'll
right.
do a Golden Gate. We do Golden Gate bridge tours.
Do you fly
Golden Gate
under?
Bridge.
Do you fly under the bridge?
No, I don't.
That would be amazing.
Over it though.
That'd be amazing. Maybe
no.
Can you turn sideways and go between the verticals there?
Yes, I do all the time.
Do that. All right.
Hey, yeah. So, can I give a shout out to my school though?
Sure.
California Airways, Hayward, California. Ask for Quincey Carr, the best flight instructor ever.
I got to ask you, Quincy, what does your chief pilot think of your flat Earth preponderances?
Well, look, you know what? I told him that I was going to be on a podcast tonight, and he said, "Cool, send me the link." But he totally disagrees.
Good. At least he's got a brain. Okay,
That's
awesome.
good. All right.
No. He's
smart. I agree.
He's such a freaking sheeple, though. He's a sheep, man. Come on. I mean, he's not.
So you think it's a good idea on a forum with 516 people watching to call your boss a sheep?
He's going to watch this, and you don't call your boss a sheep, man.
But no. He's a nice guy, though. I mean, me and him talk providers all the time. Like, he's like, "No, Q, you're wrong." I'm like, "No, Sabor, I'm right. and because guys, I am right. Because
Okay.
listen,
All right.
All
Next
right,
one.
we got to move on. All right, Kiros says, this goes back to your drawing a straight line on a sphere. Says, if we can't draw a straight line on a sphere, why do long distance flights fly a curve over flat Earth? If you
but they don't fly a curve, Robert, because your
Kiros.
your heading was 132 and you were at 38,000 feet. If your heading didn't change and your height didn't change, that is not a curve. That is a straight line.
Actually,
I got a real quick question. Quincy, if you're flying due east at the equator on flat Earth, you'd have to keep turning left or right. Do you have to do that?
Well,
You do?
well,
your
hold
heading,
on. Look,
your heading will constantly change on flat Earth or the globe.
Quincy, no, if you're flying due east on the equator.
On the equator, it won't. But
remember,
on the
flying
globe,
east to west are not straight lines.
Okay, but if you're on the equator,
there you go.
Quincy,
Doesn't
listen,
help you, man.
I want you to come back later on and tell us the answer. If you're flying due east on the equator, do you have to keep turning left to stay on the equator? Come back and tell us later.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So go to find a flight simulator and try it out and see what happens. Tell us what happens.
All right, Earth is life.
That's why when you make a flight plan, you must correct for what? Easterly or westerly variation.
Right.
Because east to west are not straight lines.
Quincy, just research it and come back and tell us over Facebook chat.
Yeah,
I
different
want
time.
you to run it on the simulator and try it out.
All right, Earth is life says, if you start on the ground, climb to 38,000 feet, then land on the ground, is that not an arc?
Good point.
Generally, it's an arc. It's got kind of a smushed top to it. But all right, you got him there. Mr. Unite for the Chillwind says, more exciting banjo presentation videos, please.
Oh God, I was trying so hard to stay awake.
No way.
Oh,
That was so.
that was bad.
Banjo's
That was bad. dude.
Banjo's tactic was to bore everybody.
That was so right. I'm like, dude, I'm like, dude, another one, another video again.
Yeah. So Mike and I are thinking about doing like a discussion show about that debate. And everybody in the audience, let us know if you want us to do that because it was fun.
Okay, Alyssum says, Quincy wants to talk about reality. Earth is a globe,
Yes,
end of
I
argument.
Yes, I do. And just like Tucker Carlson, I can't.
Tucker's not here, man.
Oh, reality. Right, exactly. I do. Thank you.
All right. Earth is Life asks you, what is a geodesic?
That's to me?
Yes.
What's a what?
A geodesic.
I don't know. Please educate me again.
All right.
I don't know everything.
That'll have to be left up to you some homework.
Okay.
Let's see. Judy Bassett had a €7 one, but it was retracted. So I don't know what she said. Gary Little says, if I'm at 6,000 feet, why can I only receive a VOR 25 miles away, but the same VOR 200 miles away if I'm at 35,000 feet? That's the curve. Yeah, why at 25 miles do you not receive a VOR if you're at 6,000 feet, but at 200 miles you can get it if you're at 35,000?
Because you're higher.
Yeah. So when you're lower, what's blocking the signal from getting to your antennas?
When you're lower, buildings, surface friction.
The earth?
Yeah, the earth.
Mountains.
The earth?
You're just not.
All right, so if you're over Kansas, the same is true over Kansas. No mountains, no big buildings. They don't even have hills. They don't even make hills in Kansas.
No, it's flat.
There you go.
Right,
so what's blocking your signal?
so if it's flat, then why can't you get the VOR at 200 miles when you're at 6,000 feet?
Because
what's in the way?
It works off of slant range. So the higher you are, the more of a slant range you have, the more it's going to read accurate.
Yeah, but you didn't answer why. You just stated the case. Well, we
right.
know why. I'm asking you to present the alternative why if the Earth is flat.
Yeah,
because
I could take the exact same thing, Quincy. If you're trying to call into the tower and you can't hear them, and you climb to a higher altitude, now you can pick them up. What's in the way of the signal?
What's in the way of the signal? Probably the Earth.
There you go.
Ding, ding, ding. Thank you.
But I don't know that it's the curve.
Thank you, Quincy.
Thank you very much. Good.
All right.
Not the curve, though. It's just the fact that there's just the land that's
that's
the way.
The Earth. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The land's in the way. Awesome.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm glad that.
Hey, Rob.
Well, hold on.
Rob.
Hang on.
We got to move on. Alyssum says, Quincy, I'm happy that someone like you will never fly airliners.
Okay.
Ouch.
Sorry.
Oh, wow. Who's that person?
That was Alyssum. He's a pilot, too. The casual engineer says, thanks for this, MC Tune. These are very entertaining and educational for everyone that tunes in. And he spelled tunes in with 2 O's in the middle there. Got to get back to work. Well, thank you for that, casual engineer. Todd Burt says, dunno. Looks like we might see him lose it soon. Quincy keeps it.
He stays pretty good.
He's good. Matto311 says this flat Earth pilot is crashing hard.
No. And why? Because I come with no graphics, no laptop on my phone with all the information in my mind.
Totally unprepared. Yep, you're right.
All right. Keith M is asking you, Quincy, do you prefer DualShock 4, DualShock 5, or the MSX, BSX flight sticks in your plane? I have no idea what that means.
I don't know what that is either.
Irrelevant.
Are they flight sims?
Yeah.
Lael says, Flat Earth Step 1. Someone presents simple observational truth and deny it. Welcome to Flat Earth. I mean, you did see a picture and you're like, nuh-uh. Serena's one says, weather balloons. The name is a clue, bro. Weather.
Airplane. The name's a clue.
Hemisphere.
Which flies to the atmosphere and the hemispheres. And yeah, it's a clue. Yep.
All right.
Gotcha.
PG Tony says, I did a GPS survey in Papua New Guinea. No phones or reliable radio comms, but GPS worked uninterrupted. My group analyzes GPS data to solve for satellite and ground system positions.
Ground system positions. Ground system.
Yeah.
Positions.
Just cherry picking words from his statement doesn't actually doesn't solve the problem that GPS works uninterrupted in Papua New Guinea when there's no cell phones. There's no towers. It's remote. Never heard anybody present that. It actually come back from that at all. Like it always is ridiculously weird. Anyway, the Logical Red has been a member for 21 months and says "Da Illuminati" in it. All right, Scott Evans. Here we go. Quincy, pilot here. Have you forgotten your VHS limitations portion of radio theory in ground school? Again, why do I need altitude to gain radio range? All right. Todd Bird says, do you teach insipid spins or skip that because the Earth doesn't spin? I don't know what that means. Is that a flight thing, Robert?
I'm sorry.
Insipid spins?
One of my students got me to a spin last week. And then, yeah.
You got out of it?
Yeah. I said, let go again. She was trying to kill me again. I said, let go. What are you doing?
Did you trust your senses? or did you trust the instruments?
Oh, I trusted my senses at that point. I was all outside.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. Let's see. Lael says, I called CGI on Robert because we all space sucks.
Whatever.
I don't think he grammared that very well. But
No.
Yep, you're CGI. Danny says Quincy. Oh, no. Danny, Quincy is not Quincy. You're on your cell phone, right? All right.
Yeah.
He's using the 5G. Todd Burt says, when you calculate COG, what does G stand for?
Oh, gravity. Or I teach students this though. Center of weight. Center of weight.
No gravity, no weight. Thank you.
Center of weight.
Weight is a force.
Right.
F equals ma.
Weight's a force.
Where did the A
Weight
come
is a
from?
force.
He didn't answer.
Gravity is not a force. But weight is a force. Because weight is constant. Weight is constant. Gravity's not.
Oh my
Actually,
gosh.
gravity is constant.
No, it's here, it's there, it pulls,
It's
it
everywhere.
twists, it does this, it does that. Come on now.
It's here, it's there, it's everywhere.
It's like
Quincy.
COVID, right?
Oh
It's
my
everywhere,
gosh.
but it's nowhere.
Oh my god. All right. Astronaut66 says, Quincy, what's the standard transponder code to transmit while flying VFR?
1200.
All right. PhD Tony says, there are professionals whose job is to study Earth's shape and gravity field. That's my job. You're wrong, Quincy.
Okay.
Now, do you think that PhD Tony, who is not a pilot to my knowledge, should show up to your job while you're training somebody and say, no, you're doing it wrong. You don't know what you're doing. This is the right way to do it, when he doesn't actually have any background in that or know what he's doing? Would that be appropriate?
No.
Okay. His job is to study Earth's shape and gravity field.
My job is to keep the airplane level.
That's beside the point. His job is to study Earth's shape and gravity field. Would you dare to tell him how to do his job? You've already said that he should not dare to tell you how to do your job.
Listen, we're always learning, and if we can both learn, great.
I hope you learned something tonight, Quincy.
Yeah, I hope
You got
so.
a couple things you research.
Because a good pilot is always learning, and a lot of pilots are arrogant and think that they know. So when I say, hey, you know what, the Earth's flat, they're like, oh no.
All right.
I've been flying for 35 years.
All right, Quincy.
I know it's a ball.
All right, Quincy,
Okay.
hold on.
Okay,
Eddie
come
Reese,
on,
Eddie
come
Reese
on.
says, hey, Toon, my science teacher in junior high had a tube like that, but his was much smaller, and he only used it by himself in his office with his blinds drawn. He didn't come back after winter break. Patrick Butler says, water mountains destroys all glomby stuffs. Do you know Patrick Butler? He is a top-notch flurf. Fa of the Q-Tube family says Tucker Carlson was outfoxed.
Good one. Good one.
All right,
Good one.
We're almost to the bottom here. Let's see. Earth is Life says, do you disagree? Or wait, do you agree distances between airports on Google Earth? That's for you, Quincy.
Yes.
Okay. If so, do you agree with the distance between Johannesburg and Sydney?
Again, I haven't done that myself. I mean,
Well, you started with yes on Google Earth. And then I asked you a very specific one for Google Earth, and you changed your story.
Rob, why do you not think that the powers that be would be lying to us? Like, come on.
Why would they lie about distances?
Well, because
Something
they
you
want
can
control.
check yourself.
You don't
check
think
it yourself.
Quincy, so if you plot a flight from there to Seattle and it says it's 1,000 miles, and you figure you're going to be flying at 140 knots, it takes so many hours to get there. Are you expecting the distance to be right, or you think no, they're lying to me? I'll figure it out as they go.
Again, if the math works on a flat Earth model, then the math works.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, but the problem is we don't have a accurate flat Earth map. So how could you possibly navigate with it?
Because when we use ForeFlight, right?
Yeah.
It's using a globe.
By the way, ForeFlight's based on WS-84, which is based off the globe.
But ForeFlight's also based on the sectional and the the WAC chart too.
No, not at all.
All
so
right.
if you find a citation for that, send it to us afterwards.
Ableist says, Quincy, please stop screaming and moving your phone.
Oh, sorry.
You are kind of at one volume.
Sorry about that.
Lael says, I call him CGI and Robert because we all know space sucks, and Robert appears to be in space. There he got it right.
I'm on the space station.
He grammared that right. And then Patrick Butler comes in with gravity isn't a force. I think he's right. Weight mountains.
I just want to hear Quincy say to make Patrick happy. Can you say I believe in water mountains?
What's a water mountain?
Just say it. I believe in water mountains. It'll make him really happy. He'll make his day.
I believe in water mountains.
Yeah, there you go, Patrick.
Oh, Patrick Butler, man, he got the gift there.
See, I'm fair. See, and two, you know what it is too. I'm a nice guy too, right?
Oh,
so,
yes.
So I want to help people. So if there's any knowledge that I know or I don't know, I'll learn about it and I'll teach somebody else.
Well, all I can say is that the good thing they'll eventually learn proper navigation and become airline pilots. Because not flat.
All right. Well, we've been going 2 hours.
Yeah.
We have. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I've been in a car for freaking 2 hours. What?
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you have? You got anything as we kind of wrap up here a little bit here?
All I'm saying is that I think the Earth is flat. I think that this is the ultimate truth, and this is the key that really unlocks the door. The sun and moon are the exact same size. Everything is electric, Rob. It's all electric.
Are your airplanes electric? Not yet,
The
are
stars,
No.
the stars, the sun, the moon. So it's all electric.
they? Okay,
Cool.
cool.
Okay, right. Because you're not there yet, Rob.
My only ask to you, Quincy, is when we watch this debate, take some of the questions we had and go find some smart people and talk to them about it. That's my only ask for you tonight.
Okay, sir.
Let's see. Todd Burt. We got a couple more. Came in late here. Todd Burt says, did he accuse the computer designed to generate images for pilot navigation for being CGI? I don't know. All right. And PhD Tony says the North Dome oil field was discovered using gravity measurements undertaken in 1924.
Wow. Just look at gravity. It does everything.
It does. It's a lot. Oh, Patrick Butler. I think you and Patrick should get together because you're both flat earthers. He watches sometimes. He's the water mountain guy.
Want some flat Earth pilots, man. That's what I want. Flat Earth pilots. Where are they at?
There aren't any other than you.
Oh, they're out there. They fired that one airline pilot in Europe because she said the Earth is flat, and then she got fired.
Probably for this.
Yeah, because she was
for
nuts.
safety. Yeah. So anyway, Patrick Butler says electro-flurf-derpism. You got a lot to learn, guys. And Stringer News 1 says Deo rip Harry Belafonte. Did he die? The Daylight Come, Me One Go Home. Is that his song? I don't know. All right, Robert. Anything as we go head out?
Nope. I think we're good.
All right. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Quincy. Robert, I hope your cat. You have some good news for us, but otherwise, it's tough losing a cat pet that's been around a long time.
Come fly to Hayward. Come fly with me. I will show you how to land and take off the same day.
All right.
Offer $260. Spend $260. Be a pilot.
You might need a few more hours than just what you'll get from $260.
Hey, no, not me. You come,
No.
you do it.
How many hours to take your private test? 40, right?
Okay. My students can
Nobody does it in 40.
solo at about 12 hours.
All right. Well, we better go.
Okay.
I have another one. I have a call-in show coming up in a little bit.
Right.
I think some people have put the link in the chat, so appreciate that. Everybody, thanks a lot, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.
All right. Have a good day.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.